the mold for y'all niggas. My flow will cobra clutch submission hold y'all niggas. Blowing tear your body up and fold y'all niggas.
Dupont Hicks, and I got a special guest in the house. Man, this dude has done a lot of work. He is a recording artist. He also owns Banks Brand Music. Also, on top of that, he's a founder of the ATM Music. This is the one and
Absolutely.
only Corey Drumz. What's good, my
What's
dude?
goody? Everything is everything, fam. You already know.
Yes, yes, man. So tell me, man, I want to know one thing, man. How did you come
Yeah.
up with the name Corey Drumz, man? How did that happen, man?
Um, it was from I wanted to transition from C style
Right,
because I made beats and I wanted to, my passion is the music, period, not just. I mean, it's the whole structure of it all. So
okay,
to incorporate that, so people knew that, I moved by the beat of my own drum and all that kind of different stuff. I just changed my name to Corey Drum. You know what I mean? It was partially that, and partially because I had, the C style name, it got kind of tired, kind of. I had to retire that as far as hip hop was
right.
concerned. You know what I mean?
So humble beginnings, man. Tell me what it's like. I already know what it's like, but tell me what it's like growing up in Hollis, Queens, man.
Man, as far as hip hop, number one, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Especially from the
Right,
from the era that I came up in. You know what I mean? Because I
right,
came up in the era of Run DMC, of LL Cool J, at the pinnacle, from the beginning to the pinnacle. So it was something different. You know what I mean? Like
right,
anywhere we went, you say you from Hollis, the world knew.
right,
It was like back then. It was like Hollis was what Compton became. You know what I mean? How you go
right.
anywhere now, people like you're straight out of Compton, da da da. It's synonymous with something. Hollis was like that. It was like that town that was just synonymous with the world. You say Hollis, anywhere you went, it was like, yo, for real. You know what I mean? So it was different.
Yo, the funny thing is, man, when we used to come to your house, I never knew that you was in the rap game. You know, you just showed us the basketball court, this and that. So I was like, damn, this dude rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how did that come about? How did you get in the rap game? What made you say, you know what? I'm gonna be a rapper. You know what I mean?
Well, I started. What it was with my pops and my mom's and pops was in the music before, so I already started singing and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to be a singer. That wasn't like really what I wanted to do. I like performing though. I like being in front of the people. I like what I was able to make them do, to make them feel. So when I was like 14 in high school, matter of fact,
Right.
my brothers already did the rap thing. They wasn't really rappers like that, but it was everybody back then, because it was so new. It was the neighborhood thing, so everybody was rapping somehow. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop, the shoebop, the bop, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when I got into high school, there was this dude that sat behind me named DBS Data. My man Derek Breland. That was my man. We went to our junior high school together, and we wound up going to Cardozo. He sat behind me in math class, and he was rhyming, and he used to write every day. And I used to see him reading his dictionary, highlighting words, and writing these lines, and he would have these ill astronomical words that I'm like, yo, how did you use that in a sentence, in a rhyme? Like, you don't hear people rhyming like that. You know what I mean? This is during like the education rhyme. Where you say devastation, that was a big word. Words with more than one syllable. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
You was able to do that. And I was like, yo, teach me how to rhyme, yeah. And he told me he couldn't. He said either you got it or you don't. Go write a rhyme and bring it back tomorrow. I wrote a rhyme, brought it back tomorrow, and he told me I was it. I was nice. After that, it was on and popping because I like writing. I always like telling stories. Like I was always like English was one of my favorite classes in school because I liked writing. You know what I mean? Give me an essay or something like that. That I creative writing at that. Like you give me something that I can write a story to. You know what I mean? Give a plot and all that kind of stuff. I was always into that. You know what I mean? That and history. Those are my favorite subjects. I love those things. So it gave me a way to like incorporate those two things
Mhm.
in a music form. You know what I mean? So
Right.
hip hop was just it for me. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Cause I started DJing too. I was DJing. I did pretty much all of it.
Stop playing. You used to
Real
DJ
talk. I
too?
was DJing. I started out first. I'm gonna tell you real talk. I
Okay.
started out first as a beatbox. All
Okay.
right. I was a beatbox.
Right.
And I was nice. I was nice. I was nice as fuck. But
Okay.
part of my language. I was nice as you know what I mean?
Nah, you
But
good. You good.
I didn't have bass. So there was this dude in my school named Fat Rock. My
Right.
man Melvin. Melvin Rose, rest in peace.
Hmm.
He had a lot of bass. We used to be in the mornings. I used to bang on the table, and I used to beatbox. And I would give him beats that I would beatbox and tell him to come to my speech class.
Right.
And I would rhyme in speech. This how I passed speech.
Okay.
My speech teacher told me I because I rhymed, I was learning how to write rhymes. My speech teacher told me that I could rhyme my speeches. So as long as I stood in front of the class and did a public appearance, I was good. And the fact that I was writing rhymes made it even better for me. So I would go to my man Melvin class and go get him. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was DJing. I did parties. I did a couple of parties DJing. You know what I
Stop
mean?
playing. Stop
I did
playing.
I
You
did
was
graffiti.
DJing around the time we was.
You know what I mean? I
Stop
used to run
playing.
around tagging.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was a graffiti artist. I didn't get into breakdancing. You know what I mean? I did it a little bit in the basement and all of that. I think when y'all used to come over, I used to have a little cardboard down in the basement. Remember? We used to go down there and
Yeah.
play or
I
whatever. But
remember.
I wasn't really a break dancer like that. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's crazy, man. So who was your hip hop influences coming up, man?
LLB. I mean, but
Okay.
obviously, running them. Run was
Right.
the voice for me. Like Run DMC. When I came home from camp one year, and Suck MCs was out there. Yeah, I came home from summer camp, and that was the year that it was like, yeah, I'm from Howard, yo. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, Run DMC, because that was the first, my first introduction to oh snap, we got it now. But
Right.
LL was my first major influence when it came to like writing my rhymes. You know what I mean? Who I wanted to sound like. I wanted to sound like LL Cool J in the beginning.
Okay.
I actually LL wanted to sign me a couple of times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
rhymed with
Word.
I
What
rhymed
happened
with
with that?
LL, but I get into that story later.
Okay.
But yeah, LL wanted to sign me a couple of times. He wanted to sign me to Ilion Records,
Right.
and Farmers Boulevard, but he wound up not doing either one of those labels. But yeah, LL obviously Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap.
Yes.
I'm a huge G Rap fan. Like I was big on
Yes.
G Rap. G Rap delivery to me. I think just being from Queens, you already know.
Oh yes.
Cool G Rap. All of us are stained by Cool G Rap without delivery. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Most death. Yes.
Um, yeah, you can hear it in majority of us from Queens in our flow. You can hear a lot of G Rap. You know what I'm saying? Especially it's really prominent on the north on the Queensbridge side, obviously,
Right.
in Astoria and all that area. But pretty much, G Rap is one of the gods of the mic for me. You know what I'm saying? Um,
G
a
rap.
lot of a lot of dudes. I'm into. I'm not really into the super lyrical dudes. I'm into the street story lifestyle MCs that have vocabulary.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not really into the backpack rap. Not to take nothing away from the backpack rappers. You know what I mean? But I'm not really into the rapidy rap speed rhyming and just doing all that theatrics. I'm
Right.
really about the storytelling.
Okay. That's dope. Man, so tell me about your deal with Wild Pitch Records, man, and it's a two-part question. Have you ever ghostwritten for anybody, yo?
As far as Wild Pitch,
Hmm.
Wild Pitch was a cool experience. Even though I got caught up again
Right.
in a situation where a label wasn't able to keep their end of the bargain for me. Um, but I learned a lot from it, and I got great experience from it. You know, I went down to the Gavin in New Orleans during Mardi Gras.
Hmm.
I was able to perform for and hang out with Mr. Magic. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Magic told
Yes.
me I was dope. That right there was like I got a lot of highlights through my career.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? The Mr. Magic situation, him telling me that I was one of the dopest MCs he had ever heard. And then he came back to New York and was talking about me on the radio with Moni Love.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Telling them that
Yes.
I was the highlight of his trip down to New Orleans. So that was, you know what I mean? Stuff like that to me is heaven. You know what I mean?
Yes. Rest in peace,
From the
Mr.
go to
Magic.
hip hop. You know what I mean?
Man. Yes.
That was crazy for me because growing up, you know, I was a pause tape cat. I was Mr. Magic Rap Attack every Friday.
What?
Every
Yes.
Friday religiously.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that was great for me, man. So that was a wild pick. As far as ghostwriting,
Hmm.
um, I did ghostwrite a couple of songs that were never used though. You know what I'm saying? I wrote
Okay.
when I got out here to Cali. My
Right.
man Romeo, shout out to my man Anthony Biden. Um, but my man Romeo the Lover, he had introduced me to Yo Yo,
Wow.
and I wrote like 6 songs for her.
Get out of here. What?
Yeah, when I first got here, I did like 6 songs, wrote like 6 joints that she wound up not using them. She wound up not doing them.
Right.
Um, shout to Yo Yo. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing. It wasn't that she ain't like the joints,
Hmm.
but I'm more aggressive than what she was looking for. You know what I'm saying? She was more in unity, and Yo Yo, and I was on you're the Queen of the West.
Wow. So tell me, man, why did you move to California? What made you say I'm going to live on the West Coast, man? You pause. Pause. You. You must have got a phone call. You.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay. You must have had a phone call or something, but it's all good though.
Nah, it just started spinning and all that. But I got that covered. Hold on a second. Somebody going past with a loud car.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, it just wasn't the direction that she was trying to go. I was more aggressive,
Right.
and she wanted to be more peaceful about it. So me and her talked a lot of times though. She was
Right.
mad cool, man.
That's what's up. What made you move to the West Coast?
You want to know honestly? I'll be real
Yeah,
with you.
honestly. Yeah, keep it real.
Back in the days when my mom's and your pops worked at Transamerica, my mom was
Wow, get out
offered.
of here.
Yeah, my mom was offered a vice presidency over here for
Right.
programming,
Right.
and she was gonna take it. She asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, yeah. But
Hmm.
then she found out that she was sick with leukemia, and
Right.
then she got married to Calvin, whatever, and she didn't go. You know what I mean?
Right. Hmm.
But ever since then, for some reason, I was always drawn to the West Coast. I don't know
Right.
why. You know what I mean? It was just something that was destined for me to be on the West Coast. Even when I moved to Texas, I knew that wasn't my final destination. I knew I was going to wind up somehow on the West Coast musically.
Right.
When
Hmm.
when I was putting out songs and stuff like that, I had a large fan base
Right.
on the West Coast that I would have never expected. You know what I'm saying? When I would, it was inevitable, man. I don't know. It was just in the universe to me.
Wow,
Hollis to
that's what's up.
Hollywood. I mean,
Oh yeah. course,
like
man.
all
I
day.
like that. Yo, so tell me about your old group, the Total Pack, and then what also made you decide to go solo from them, man?
Well, Total Pack, the way I explain Total Pack is because the world that knows about Total Pack sees Total Pack as a rap group. They
Right,
saw it as two dudes, you know what I'm saying, that went to the radio station with their friends.
right,
But in reality, what Total Pack was, or is not two rap dudes. It's a crew that I was the rapper in my crew, and I
right.
met another rapper from somewhere else and put him down with me, and we started a group, and I took the name of the crew as my
Right.
group name, but I always moved as my crew. You know what I'm saying? Shout to Kamal B. Wise. You know what I mean? Not to take nothing
Okay.
from him from that, but even he understood that Total Pack at the end of the day was C Style, Bill Skills, Marcus, Kentu, Paul, Eguan, Israel. You know what I mean? My crew from Hollis, that we was in the streets together. That was our name. That was what we was. You know what I'm saying? So that, and that's what I explained when I in my book. That's why I wrote the book and named it "The Lives of a Hollis Crew," because that's what Total Pack is. It's a crew of lives that intermingle, and that's why we're the Total Pack.
Dope. Dope. So tell me about the book. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what to expect when we open up the book and start reading it. And how did you come about making the book, man?
Well, when you read the book, you're really gonna go on a journey through my
Right.
life. You're gonna see the world through my eyes, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs. You know what I mean? It's not about a rapper.
Right.
It's about a boy that grew up in a family that made music and had street credibility
Mm,
and had to maneuver through a world of that. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Um, and rapping happened to be one of the outlets that helped me, that saved me from the streets and all of that. Because it gave me a different outlet. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's like I said, it's not. It's really about my life
Mm-hmm.
and what I went through as a man growing up, and what could have broke me and didn't. It's a story of perseverance, determination. Um, Never let nothing tell you you can't do. You know what I mean? That's really what the reader will get. You know what I mean? Hopefully, it inspires them that whatever it is that they desire in life, whatever their life story is, that they pursue it wholeheartedly and never let anything or anybody tell them that it's not possible or what the measure of success is or those different things. You know what I mean? Like none of those things matter to anybody else except you. And as long as you're doing what you're meant to do in life, then that's what successful is. That's the way I look at it.
I love that. I love that, yo. Yo, man. Ike and
I all day.
Million. Those are my two songs that I really love by you, man.
Yeah.
And you've done about 7 or 8 albums. So tell me, what do you think is your best album in your mind? And what is your best song in your mind? But those two, I play daily, for real.
um, Album wise, mm, let's see. I would have to say, see, for me,
Mhm.
because my kids got certain favorites that they got classics. They got joints they call classics.
Right. Hmm.
Me, I'm more okay. I'll say Amnesia, which is
Okay.
the only
That's
C
dope
style
too.
album. Yeah, that's the only C style album ever released. I did that one and then became Corey Drumz.
Mm.
Um, that one, that's definitely a classic. It's got nothing but bangers on there, and it has everything that I'm about on there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm gonna have to go with the ones my kids say, man. Let drums make you famous.
Okay.
That's an Ike
All
joint.
right.
You know what I mean?
The Ike
Let
joint.
drums make you
Yes.
famous was a compilation joint with me, Lee Boogs, Kirk Bonanno, Daytime, Paper, Ab 151 is on there. That was my little clique in Long Island
Okay.
that I put them out on a joint on an album, and that album became like a underground hood legend classic like that too. And the feel of it was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the crowd favorites, man, with Amnesia
Hmm.
and yeah, let drums make you famous as far as the best two on that level. But I would have to say too, because I got albums that go with the book. You know what I mean? The TPMF joints. That's the my story, my life for real. Um, the Total Pack MF, the Rhymes of a Hollis crew. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard for me because it every album is a different space, different time,
Hmm.
and they're all journeys. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to say like that for me on that level. But I do know what I'll give you my kids, man. Those
I
two
feel you. I
and
feel you,
me,
bro.
that's their favorites, man. That's their favorites. Because they don't really like they like my stories, but my stories are a little bit like a lot of them are dark. You know what I mean? Because of the life that I went through, stuff like that, and they don't like hearing me go through that. You know what I'm saying? They respect it, they love it. It's not that they don't like the songs, it's just that they don't like hearing that I went through that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It hurts them to hear that.
Mean.
They don't want me to be through that. They don't even want me thinking like that no more.
Mean.
So so it's
So
real
tell
deep.
me, man, how did you get started? How did you get started with ATM radio, man? How did that come about?
That was me and my son J God, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me and him. I originally, because
Hmm.
remember I used to do the Hot Fat Ike Boy radio show back in
Okay.
the days, and then I went away and then I stopped doing that.
Right.
Then I was on this platform called Station Head, at that, and
I
I
remember that.
went there originally to start the Hot Fat Ike Boy radio show, but there was another show over there. Team Arliss was over there, and
Right.
Shout the Trap. Um, I was rocking with him, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to compete with him because I know me. You know what I mean? The way I was, if I'm gonna do it, I'm taking over. I'm not doing this to be, you know what I mean? No second fiddle. I'm doing this so everybody's gonna come see me. I'm shutting everybody else down. So I didn't
Right.
want to do
Right.
that. I didn't want to do that with him. I mean, I respected what he was doing and all that. So I became part of his little thing that he was doing. One of the members or whatever, one of the key members and stuff like that. Um, helped help help brand it and all of that. I named it the Boomies. Um, and then what happened was because they have a crowd streaming platform where the more people that are on at one time, the more streams the music is getting. So if you got 20, 30 people listening, and every time you play a song through their platform, you get 30, 20, 30 streams. Right?
Mm. Right.
So me and my son, we started paying attention to the numbers. And we noticed that we weren't getting a lot of Apple Music activity from it,
Right.
from his platform. And I'd already been telling people to, start moving more toward the platforms that pay artists more and things like that. You know what I mean? Stop focusing on the ones that's paying you a third of a penny when you get a full penny. Like, why wouldn't you go to the one that's
Right.
paying a full penny?
Hmm.
So, you know, my son started really, really looking at the numbers. He was like, yo, Pop, man, we really need to go ahead and do our own station. Like, instead of waiting, let's go ahead and do it. And he's like, well,
Right.
let's do it where it's an Apple only station. Where now whoever wants to join the station, they can't join with a Spotify account. They have to join with an Apple Music account, or they can't be a part of the station. So that would drew the artists over there that wanted to make money. They wanted to make more money than what they was making. They started thinking, okay, revenue. It's not about popularity. Forget about being famous and all of that. Think about the money, the revenue. Think about the business that you're building here and how you're paying your bills. How you paying for the studio? You know what I mean? How you buying the equipment you need? So we started focusing on that. We tested. We did a test run. What was it? 3, 4 years ago. 2022. We did it. Yeah, it was 2022. I think we started it January. We did a test run, and it was working. I was still rocking with the other room, but I was focusing more on our own thing. And then from there, it just springboarded, and I started helping more artists. I started getting a lot of African artists coming at me and wanting to learn, you know what I mean, how to register their music and things like that. And that's when I started putting together the actual artist training manual book for artists to have a handbook on, the basic stuff. It's not rocket science. It's basic stuff that they need to know that 99.9% of artists and not only artists but people that are even in the industry. I'm for real. It's crazy how many people don't even know this information. You can ask people at radio that have been in radio for 20 years. They don't even know how the industry really works. So we started looking at it that way and was like, okay. At first, it was the artist talking money. That was the name. That was what ATM stood for at first. Artist teaching money. Then it went from that to the artist training manual. You know what I mean? Because then I was like, you know what? Let's put together a community and really just teach people this stuff. When they come and ask me this stuff, they can get this information. So that's how the radio station started. Um, and then from there, like I said, we just started springboarding, man, and showing people how to market. And then I took it to TikTok this year, and just teaching people you got to get out to your fans. It ain't about having a community full of artists is really it's kind of counterproductive because artists are never going to be fans of artists. They'll be in your face. Like, I mean, if y'all are on a platform together, playing your music together and all that, they'll be like, yeah, buddy, ha, ha, ha. But when it's time to really support you, those artists aren't going to support you because artists are selfish. They think all about themselves. You know what I mean? It's a me mentality. And that's what I started recognizing with that other platform. Everybody was about a me mentality, whereas me and my son was about a us, we. You know what I mean? We'll cover way more ground, and you have a lot more support when you think about it that way. And that's what I like about our platform on TikTok, because the TikTok platform, you have a community that's on TikTok already that's about community. You know what I mean? It's gamified. They're about supporting. You know what I mean? That's how they get their jollies off of supporting creators. You know what I mean? That's the big thing over there. So shout out to all of the community on TikTok. Big love to them over there because they've been showing us mad love. Um, but yeah, and like I tell artists now, like a lot of the artists that I have on the Station Head platform, they haven't converted to jump over to the TikTok. And I keep telling them, like, you're shooting yourself in the foot when you have a platform of fans, people that want to support you as a fan. I mean, you know how many new listeners I've gotten because of TikTok internationally. You know what I mean? I got people sitting in my station right now on TikTok waiting for me to get back on with music for them. Just so they can hang out with me. You know what I mean? I ain't even got to talk. They just want to hang out with Corey and have a good time and vibe out with some dope music. You know what I mean? And I tell artists all the time, if I got a platform like that, you're able to meet your fans and actually talk to them, have one-on-ones with them. You're getting rid of the middleman now. You have a direct to fan access now.
Mm.
Why not use it? You know what I'm saying? I was watching Eric Sermon talking on Jada and Joe on
Yeah, I
something
watched that
on a
too.
video earlier, and he was talking about going direct to consumer, and Fat Joe and them are sitting there like, I don't understand. It's not rocket science, y'all.
Mm.
If you got let's say for instance, I got 5,000 followers on Facebook, right? If I put up a post and say everybody just send me $1, that's it, $1. $1 ain't
Right.
killing the bank. It ain't hurting nobody, right? But if I'm saying I need everybody to send me $1 so that I can use that dollar to finance something, to fund something, to do something positive, right? I should be able to get $5,000 out of that, right? If I got 5,000
Right.
followers,
You should. Right.
right? That's the premise of going direct to consumer. When you got these people that got a million people following them on Instagram and all of that, right? Let's
Right.
see how real that is. When you say, okay, I'm not gonna have the free stuff on Spotify no more. I'm not gonna do that no more.
Right.
I'm gonna have my albums drop directly on my website with my fans, the million people that are following on Instagram or TikTok or wherever they are, those million people, they go buy it,
Mm.
right? Let's see how many fans you really have.
Right.
Because if you got a million people and you selling a unit on your own, let's say $10. That's
Mm.
$10 million, yo.
Mm.
$10.
Makes sense.
And then
Makes a lot of
somebody just bought a
sense.
t-shirt. Somebody just bought a hoodie. They bought a hat.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You talking about the money an independent can make. That's independently.
Right. Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But people want to be so wrapped up in I want to be famous. They I could do they gonna spend this, they gonna give me this. Yeah, all right. In this day and age, you need money for marketing.
Right.
You need a
Very true.
publicist. In this day and age, that's what you need. You don't need and you need a good distribution deal, a good distribution situation. You know what I mean? Once you do that, you follow suit. You put your efforts into you, build your team. The same thing a record company's gonna do.
Right.
Record company got a team. They're gonna have all these people working for you, and that's why they gotta get so much money off of the return because they got all these salaries that they're paying for under their umbrella, and then they ballooning the value of it, the cost of it. You know what I'm saying? Because artists ain't auditing nobody. They ain't checking the books. They just going for whatever the label said, right? So all these things is real important, and that's really what I really feel is my mission, and others like me that have this kind of information. We're supposed to give it up. We're not supposed to be gatekeeping this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I used to sit with my lawyer, man, and when he would negotiate contracts, and he would teach me what the different terminologies meant, so that when I got a contract later, I could mark it up before I even bought it to him. You know what I mean? I would know what I didn't want in it already. And then he could fine print it. And I wouldn't have to be paying for all those crazy hours of wasted time. Because, you know what I mean? I tell people a lot of times, man, like artists, you hear these sob stories about, oh, I got jerked. Oh, the industry did this to me. And yes, the industry is going to exploit you.
That's right.
That's
That's what
the
they do.
business of the industry.
Right.
It's your business to exploit that industry.
Mm.
And the only way to exploit the industry is for you to have knowledge of how it works, right? And to
Right.
take due diligence and be active in making sure it works for you.
Mm.
It's not the industry that's the problem,
Mm.
it's how you're using it
Mm.
or getting
Very
used by
true.
it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, the real testimony is between the artist and the fan.
Mm.
So get to your fans.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. So tell me, man, the social climate of today in society, man. Um, what is your take on it, man? On what's going on in the world today, man? There's a lot of crazy things, but what's your take, man?
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm in a lot of ways, I'm happy that these things are happening right now like that.
Okay.
Because and I'm not biblical. I'm not Mr. Religion. You know what I mean? I'm not with none of that. But
Right.
like I said, I read the story. And right now we
Okay.
are in a time of a great revealing, which is what revelations mean.
Right.
The veil is being pulled from in front of our eyes now, at a lot of people's eyes. Because not everybody was blind, but 99% of the people were walking around with blinders on. You know what I
Right.
mean? So now the truth is being put in people's faces. And some can take it, some can't. Some of it is cool truths that are helpful. Some are harmful. Some are, you know, a reaffirming of things that we already knew. You know what I mean? So the only way, in order to fix a problem, you have to actually recognize that the problem exists, right? So now we're able, people are starting to see that the problems exist. The ones that they've been looking straight at, the ones that continue to be a problem that they thought was a friend. You know what I mean? That friend that kept on coming and slapping them in the face every time. Bow, 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 bow. I don't know why it took so many slaps for you to get to see that
Right.
this was a problem. But
Hmm.
okay, now you're getting to see that these things are problems. Now the thing is not dwelling on the problem, is focusing on the solution.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that at the end of the day, a problem is never really a problem. A problem is just an equation. We deal with mathematics, right? So a problem is
That's right.
simply an equation to a solution or to an answer. We're supposed to deal with these things in order to get an answer. It's us not dealing with these things that keep us away from the answer. So I embrace all the things that is happening right now. You know what I mean? Um, Politically and everything. You feel me? Like, I mean, at our age, honestly, what haven't we seen?
Right.
I'm ready for it to see it and see something actually happen.
Right.
Because we've been watching this movie all our lives. Remember, we
Hmm.
were born during Vietnam,
That's right. That's right. We sure was.
Nixon, and all of that. We was born during that. The Iran Contra situation. We was born during that, man. The first World Trade Center situation. We was born during that, bro. We came through all of those different things. So it's not like we're really seeing nothing new. It's new people are seeing something new.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to see this stuff actually turn into. I want to see a real result from it now. You know what I mean? Instead of the same old over and over again. That's why I like the shakeup that's happened in government right now. I love the shakeup. You know what I mean?
Right.
Got to shake the
That's
tree.
what's up. Yep.
And as people, we
Have
ain't
to.
been shaking the tree enough.
Mm.
We've been accepting the fruit that been growing on that tree, and that fruit been rotten.
Mm.
It been rotten, yo, all this time. Everything that somebody been saying, oh, follow this because we're supposed. Man, none of it has helped us, man.
Mm.
None of it, but we keep on following it.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy,
Same
man.
story over and over again.
Man, tell me one thing I don't know about you.
Hmm. One thing you don't know about me.
Right.
I went to Rikers Island.
What? When? When, son? When? When you went to
Yeah,
Rikers, man?
I was on Rikers Island.
Oh my God.
I don't
Oh
think
my
you knew
God.
that one.
I ain't know. I had no idea.
Yeah, I
No
had a little
idea.
staycation, man. I had to go on staycation before, man.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. So tell me about Rise 9 and the brand. Banks Music, the brand. Tell me about those two things, how they coincide.
Well, yeah, but Rise Nine is an ideology. That's the philosophy. That's the way I live.
Okay.
Um,
Right.
the nine is completion. The nine is everything. I
That's
walk
right.
in universal mathematics and universal energy,
Mm,
and I do my best to balance with those energies every single day, every second, every nanosecond. I falter here and there, but it keeps me less under pressure, less angry because I got anger issues and stuff like that. I'm quick to blow up. That's what got me on record down.
right.
You know what I mean?
You know, that's a
But,
family thing, man. That's a family thing. It's a family
yeah,
thing, done. Go ahead, man.
yeah, you already know. You know what I mean? So I had to learn how to curb it. So the nine helps me recognize, what I mean, my true spirit. Plus, I was born April 9th, so it just connects me to my universe, and it lets me understand that there's nothing wrong with my fire. It's just that I have to learn how to make the fire dance like a candle flame instead of a blaze like a forest fire.
Wow.
So, I mean, and I ain't gonna lie, Rikers Island it was necessary to help me look inside of myself and say, look where you got yourself because of that, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether I was right or wrong was irrelevant. It was where I got myself. Look at the outcome, B. Look where you at, homie.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Wow. That's crazy,
shout out to
man.
Rikers Island, man. I appreciate the fact that I went on that vacation. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You ain't gonna lie.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I really do. I really do appreciate that vacation because I was on a bad route.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? I was on a I don't care no more route. So it was either go for a little staycation and deal with myself, or you know, wind up laid down on the street somewhere, or wind up upstate for the rest of my life. You know what I
Right.
mean? It
Right.
could have went. It could have went either way like that with me because of my angers. You know what I mean? I had to
Right.
face life and face my traumas that I dealt with in life. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my biggest issue was the loss of my mom. Losing my mom was like the biggest hurt
Oh yeah.
ever for me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then being abused by my steppops.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That ain't making no better. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was kind of like left out in the wind.
Mm.
So I built a lot of anger. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hmm.
So like I said, I'm thankful for the situation like that because it could it, I would have wound up with a different way, man. That made me look at myself.
Man, mean, mean.
So anybody out there that got issues like that, don't let a vacation to Rikers Island or something like that make you face yourself. You know what I mean? Wake up every day and look in the mirror. Don't complain about nothing else in the world. That's not your problem. You your problem. Wake up every day and look in the mirror, curse yourself out, and tell yourself don't do that dumb shit no more.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. The real words, man. Yo, man. So, how can we hear your music? How can we see your brand? How can we get the knowledge of the game? How can we get everything? Give us all your info, man, because there's some people that don't know, man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the best way for me is just Google Corey Drumz.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that way you don't gotta remember a whole bunch of this one on Instagram, this one. Just Google Corey Drumz. Because I mean, from my Wikipedia page all the way down, it's all me.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
that's what I'm talking about.
Like, I don't know why people need all the link tree. Just get your Google right, man.
I'm gonna have to get my Google right.
You
You
feel
gave me
me? You'll
something,
find me on
man. I'm gonna get
Amazon
my
and all that.
Google right, cuz.
Matter of fact, type in Coriel Banks on Amazon. That's how you get my books. You got the artist training manual. That's
Mm-hmm.
on Amazon. You got Total Pack MF, The Lives of a Hollis Crew, which is my memoir. That's on Amazon. And all my music is under Corey Drumz. I'll be putting out some more music real soon. My son got music coming out. Banks Brand
Okay.
Music is the legacy. We always unlimited, you heard? And that's Corey Drumz.
Yes.
I'm always unfiltered.
That's what I'm talking
You know what I
about.
mean?
Man, it was an honor, a pleasure rapping
Real
with you,
talk. I
cuz.
ain't
Yeah,
even
this is
realize
my
it was getting
cousin, man.
dark over here.
And
This how, this
like
how,
I said
this how.
before,
You know what I mean? I ain't even realize it
yeah.
was getting dark over here. We was
That's
yapping,
okay.
yapping.
That's okay, man. We live. It don't matter. I know who you are.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yo, so it was an honor rapping with Corey Drumz, author, artist, music, anything you name. This guy has done it all.
Absolutely, pretty much.
Corey Drumz, man.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me. You know what I mean? I'm glad we was
Salute.
able to link this time because last time, my timing was crazy.
It's all good, man. As long
You
as
know
we
what I
got
mean?
it in, we got it in, man.
And shout out to all your
Love
viewers,
you,
man.
man.
You know what I mean? And I
Love you.
love you
Stay
too,
cool.
cuz.
All right, cousin.
Real talk. Connecting the dots, man. Big love.
Yes. Peace.
Hey, we gon' rock it till the wheels fall off. Hold up.
Pam 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 pam, sumabay lang sabay sarap sa pakiramdam.